Hey y'all, Hubcap Dylan here. I'm headed on a little adventure. I'm headed over to Central Oregon. I'm going to be attending the swap meet in Redmond. It's Oregon High Desert Swap Meet, and it's a pretty good meet. Gonna see what I can find, and I'm going to do a little video in there, and I'm going to take some footage of where I'm going, a little town called Sisters. I'm staying at the KOA in a little cabin, and I'm just going to check out some shops and a thrift store and just see what all else. So I'll see you on down the road. All right, I have made it to a little town called Tumalo. It's between Bend and Sisters, Oregon. And there's a little, actually this, the owner has, of these antique stores, has two locations. One in Redmond, which I will be going probably tomorrow there. And then they have the one here in Tumalo. And so I'm going to go in here and see what they have. Of course, I had to check out the automotive section. There was some emblems and different things. Few little signs. An old Ford emblem. Didn't find a whole lot. And there's a bow tie and automatic. Don't know what that was for. And there's looks like a couple of, like a horn button, and of course I had checked this patch out for my jacket. Couple of street signs. And there's a plaque from a car show and some sockets. I forgot to check to see if any of them were Snap-on. Oil cans and some manuals and what do they have over here? License plates, hubcaps, of course hubcaps, a toolbox, kind of a cool little CarQuest cabinet. And let's see what they have in the license plates. And just a lot of newer stuff. Couple of old lights. Kind of check them out, but out of my price range. A cool old grill shell. The cowboy in the picture does sort of resemble Walker from Yellowstone. did have to check out these magazines. I considered this one, but that, however, this toy catalog from back in the day, it took my eye. So I had to bring it home. As well as this Pep Boys catalog from the late 60s. Definitely had to bring that along. A fair selection of cast iron. Be good for little projects. Well, it was my first stop at an antique store on the trip, and I did manage to find a few things. I will show them at the end of the video, so I'm going to see where else I can go and what else I can find. Made it to Sisters, where we're going to check out Kalamazoo Antiques. Now, my grandma had an old jadeite cup similar to one of these. I really didn't care for that cup when I was a kid, but now I have an appreciation for them, and we may still have it. Couldn't pass up checking out the uranium glass. I'd have to say that is probably my favorite out of all the glassware. I considered these salt and pepper shakers, but I believe they were retail. They had this little general store market, and I do like this soapbox derby car. It came from Salem, Oregon, and there was a little helmet. And I do like that little crane truck. That's just overall a neat looking cart. I have a Chevrolet soapbox derby helmet. It'd go perfect with that. Definitely love to have that big old Coke sign. This is kind of a neat little place. I did like that Coke sign as well. That was different. This place definitely does have the signage. And that Coke sign was pretty cool with the lady on it and a Donald Duck bicycle. Don't see many of those around. Couple of little signs. Cool Winchester advertisement sign. And now we are at the thrift store, Habitat for Humanity. This used to be the old drugstore before it closed down, and they converted it into a secondhand store. And they do have some stuff. I wasn't finding a whole lot, to my liking anyway. I mean, there was stuff to be had. People do have different tastes. But I wasn't really finding anything. Vintage clothing. I did check these vintage antique automobile glasses, but I really wasn't into buying any glassware like that. But they were cool. I'm sure they did find a home. More decor and glassware. Home good type stuff. That was kind of a cool little pineapple. And not seeing much here. Go over to the other side. And nothing really over here. Head over into the book section. If you like to read, there's plenty of books here. Almost like a little mini library or a little section of Barnes & Noble. They do have quite an assortment. I'm sure if I would have looked long enough and there would have been something. I wasn't seeing anything in the transportation. But then, usually I will walk away and then later see that there was something I should have bought or think about something I should just brought home. It had been a long day and I did need to go back to my cabin, or else I might have looked a little longer and seen what I could have found. So I did go back up to the front, and they have a little selection of antiques. But so far I was still batting 1,000. Those were cool scales, but not sure how old they were. Now this bowl appears to be custard glass. Should have checked it out to see if it was uranium. There's some plates. Those really aren't worth anything. And just not really seeing anything. Thought I would check the counter out. That sign, it has a little humor to it, but I think it was a repop. The tractor, it did take my interest, but not for the price they were asking. You almost feel like the days of thrifting have long gone. And just when I thought I was going to walk out empty-handed, what did I find for $5 but Mickey and Minnie? I thought that was a cool piece, and it's a Walt Disney production. My last stop is a little antique mall called Heritage USA. We'll take a little walk before we head inside. It's a cool little wagon. We'll take a look at this wagon before we head inside. One of the first things I spot is this little beatnik bandit. It was originally a car built by Ed Roth, who created Rat Fink. They wanted $35 for it, but I thought about it, but ended up passing on it. A lot of stuff in this booth. Peanuts and Barry Manilow, now that's a combination. A lot of stuff to look at in this booth. My mom collects these nesting hens. She collects the larger ones, but she's getting into the smaller hens as well. And these kind of look cool. They're not really uranium glass, they look it. And these look to be jadeite, but I did end up getting one to add to her collection. Well, I did end up with a little haul, not a whole lot, but I got a few cool things. I got this at Beyond the Ranch. It's a 1957 toy book. Ted Feinberg, I guess that's how you say it. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. Specialties. Des Moines, Iowa. That'd be fun to look through. Then I got this as well. 1965 Pep Boys. And I also got this at Beyond the Ranch. This was in Tumalo. Tomorrow I plan on going to the one in Redmond, and there's some others. A couple others. There's two big ones I want to go to, and then Saturday's the big reason for coming over here to Oregon. But anyway, that's going to be the swap meet there in Redmond. And hopefully it'll be like last year, maybe better. I don't know. We'll see what kind of a turnout they have and how many vendors show up. But anyway, so much for my yammering. Enough of my yammering. Here is a patch that'll go on my jacket. It's another patch, but it's one I can sew on. And it's 25th anniversary of the Street Rod. Sorry, I'm getting a little tongue-tied. Street Rod Nationals in Louisville, Kentucky. NSRA, 1970 to 94. Anyway, I thought that was kind of a cool find, so I picked that up. And then I got this at Habitat for Humanity and Sisters, the little thrift store. Gotta clean it up a little bit. Now, according to other sources, it's my understanding that you want to look for the Walt Disney trademark as opposed to just Disney. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll just have to research it. The frame looks to be old, so I don't think it's too new. And where it said Walt Disney Productions, I really didn't want to pass it up. So anyway, I got that. So the plan is to go to Redmond and check out the other location for Beyond the Ranch, and go to a couple of other antique shops that are in the same, actually they're in the same parking lot. Co-op Antiques and Redmond Antique Mall. And those are pretty good ones. And so hopefully I can get some good footage and maybe find something to bring home. Then the plan is to go back to Sisters and get some footage there of the town, and maybe go back to those other two antique shops and see what I can find. And there's a couple things I'm kind of looking at. And then just kind of show some of the shops and other places around there. And I'm going to do probably do this in parts, this trip. I'm not going to do one big humongous video because that would be a lot. And then Saturday will be the main reason I'm over here, and that's for the Redmond or the Oregon High Desert Swap Meet. And that was a good one last year. Hopefully it'll be pretty good. And then I can see what I find there as well. Anyways, I thank y'all for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and hit that bell button for notifications. And please subscribe to the channel. And y'all have a wonderful day. Hubcap Dylan signing off.